Senator, let me start. I know we want to talk about taxes and the economy and all of that.
Yeah.
Let's start with the campaign itself.
Sure.
Looking at the upcoming primaries, and by the way, Huffington Post story just today, Donald Trump throws it in and Wyoming throws in the towel. I think that's pretty obvious. So you come out of Wyoming with a handful of delegates. Do you think anybody can get to 1237 by Cleveland?
You know, I think the odds are looking more and more likely that nobody's going to get to 1237, that we're going to have a contested convention, that I'm going to come in with a ton of delegates, that Donald Trump's going to come in with a ton of delegates. And it's going to be a battle to see who can earn a majority of the delegates who are elected by the people. And I'm very encouraged in that. You know, in the last 3 weeks, we've had 11 elections in a row in 4 different states, and we've beaten Donald Trump in 11 elections in a row. If we win this vote in a few minutes here in Wyoming, that'll make 12 elections in a row in 5 different states: Utah, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Colorado, and I hope Wyoming. That really is indicative of what we're seeing nationwide, which is we're seeing Republicans uniting behind this campaign. Number one, because we got to win. And nominating Donald Trump elects Hillary Clinton. But number two, I think Republicans and I think Americans want to get behind a positive, optimistic, forward-looking, conservative campaign focused on solving the real problems we have, focused on bringing back jobs to America, on protecting our freedom and protecting our security. So I couldn't be more encouraged where we are right now.
Are you worried, though, what might happen after a first ballot in Cleveland? Because then it's jump ball.
Sure. And after a first ballot, I think the first ballot is likely to be the highest total Donald Trump ever receives. And I think after the first ballot, we're going to see Republicans continuing to unite behind our campaign, and I think we will win the nomination on a subsequent ballot. Because to win, you've got to earn a majority. And I believe we're seeing that happening every day. I'll give you one illustration. We started this campaign with 17 Republican candidates running. Of those 17, 5 have endorsed our campaign. Rick Perry and Lindsey Graham and Jeb Bush and Scott Walker and Carly Fiorina. When you throw into the mix Mike Lee and Glenn Beck and Mark Levin, you've got the full ideological spectrum of the Republican Party. You've got a broad and diverse coalition. And my focus really is on uniting Republicans, because that's the only way we can win.
Are you worried about a second ballot, though? About the so-called white knight? I know Paul Ryan took himself out of it, but somebody coming out of nowhere.
Not remotely. That is the fever dream of the Washington establishment. It isn't going to happen. As a practical matter, for that to happen, it would take 1,000 Trump delegates or 1,000 Cruz delegates suddenly deciding they wanted to get behind some Washington deal maker. There's no universe in which that's going to happen. There are 2 and only 2 people who have a path to winning this nomination, either me or Donald Trump. And head to head, I believe a majority of delegates will decide that I am the much stronger candidate to beat Hillary Clinton, that Donald loses to Hillary, and that I beat Hillary. I beat Hillary in key swing states. I beat her with independents. I beat her with young people. And that's going to be the choice the delegates have in Cleveland.
Let's cut to the chase on taxes. I know you're proposing, it's been proposed before, a variation on the flat tax, which involves a business tax as well. I was crunching the numbers last night. We got a $3.8 trillion budget. We bring in about 3.3, so we're short.
Yes.
Yeah, we're short about 400 to 500 billion.
Depends on the
like
year.
That, yeah.
But
10% flat tax on income, even if you taxed every dollar, is only $900 billion. And you don't do that. 16% tax on business, even if you tax the entire GDP, you come up with 2.5, which just about brings you where you are now. So how do you do it? How do you make the numbers work?
Well, the only way to make the numbers work, the federal budget numbers work, is to change economic growth. I'm a numbers guy. I'm a data guy. If you look at the federal budget, there's only one first-order variable, and that is economic growth. From World War II to today, we've averaged about 3.3% growth in America. From 2008 to today, we've averaged 1.2% growth. If we stay mired,
a huge recession.
But it hasn't turned around. The Obama policies have contributed to this stagnation for 7 years. If we stay mired at 1 and 2% economic growth, we can't turn around the deficit and the debt. The only way to do it is unleash growth. The Cruz simple flat tax will produce 4.9 million new jobs. It will increase capital investment by 44%. It will increase the after-tax earnings of every American. The average family will see over 10 years an additional $7,600 in your pocket after tax. Now that's real money for families that are struggling to make ends meet. And in terms of making the numbers work, if you go to our website, it's tedcruz.org, tedcruz.org. You can read all of the specific numbers and the projections for what it will generate and also the cost. What we are doing, we are eliminating taxes that are killing jobs. So we're eliminating the corporate income tax. We're eliminating the payroll tax. We're eliminating the Obamacare taxes. We're eliminating the death tax, which is really cruel and unfair to farmers and ranchers and small businesses. And we're replacing all of those with a simple 10% flat tax on individuals and a simple 16% flat tax on businesses. And that effect, among other things, it means you and I, we're going to be able to fill out our taxes on a postcard, and we'll abolish the IRS. And that impact on the economy will generate incredible growth, which is the only way we can turn around our deficits and debt.
Okay. All right, we're going to have to wrap it up. Senator, thanks so much.
Thank you, Roger. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.